Well, hello everybody and welcome. Welcome to another Thursday night variety show. Rachel, so good to have you here.
Great to be here.
Give me an idea of what the temperature is out in your neck of the woods.
Oh, it's actually chilly today in the 40s, but it did reach 60 earlier this week, so that was very exciting.
So it's warmer here in Minnesota than it is there.
Yes.
We got 60s today. Well, hello. Want to say hi to Keith BDF, who is 46 days away from 62nd birthday. Hello, Rachel's dog. He thinks somebody's there. Uh, that's fine. And then, hello, Lisa. Nice to have you here. All right, now let me get on to these comments really quickly. On June 9th, me and my friend might go to a Sunday afternoon Royals game in Kansas City, Missouri to celebrate my birthday a day early. Very nice, Keith. Congratulations on that. Rachel has her hair game on tonight. Yes, it's look good. It looks good. And we have Najuma Brown here. Hello, Najuma. Nice to have you here. And we have Kelly from the Mickey Bunch. Hey, Kelly. Nice to have you here. Well, all right. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Rachel, are you ready?
Yeah, my dog's just going nuts in the background.
I don't. Oh, you were muted. Okay, I did
Yes.
not hear him.
Yeah.
Good to have
There
Kelly
very
here.
likely could be a bear or something outside my house right now.
Do
So,
you have bears outside?
yeah, we sure do.
Ah, I could not live that way.
They're
Oh,
fine. They're fine. They just want
food.
food. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully
Okay.
they don't break into the house.
Which kind of reminds me a little bit of the movie we watched this week.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about that. Okay, so all right, I'm going to get it rolling here. I think I'm caught up on comments. Nice to have everybody here. Oh, and as you know, uh, Mary Mary Ellen is still in Ireland. She was thinking about joining us, but I had a feeling since that would be about 4 in the morning for her time, that was probably not going to happen. So, uh, scarier than gators. I don't know. What do you think about that?
I don't think so. Honestly, I'd be more concerned about a gator.
Yeah,
However, the scariest moment of my life did involve a bear in the house. So
in your
there's that.
house?
Yeah, in my parents' house. It was
Huh?
no good.
What the
So
heck?
if you would like me to share the story, I can.
Share
But
the story.
okay. So I was upstairs in my parents' house in the upstairs bathroom at the time, and I hear a loud bang followed by a gunshot
Oh,
and my mother screaming.
oh no.
So all of those noises were alarming. So I was not sure what I was going to find when I went downstairs. But anyway, I went downstairs and apparently my parents knew that there was a bear hanging around the house
Oh,
and it broke a door down at the same time my mom was turning on the light and my dad was outside trying to scare it away by shooting the gun
oh.
and it just was a mess. And it
Your
ended up stealing ice cream out of the freezer and eating it in a tree.
it actually opened the freezer door?
It sure did. So we had a chest freezer that it got into,
Oh my gosh.
and this bear broke into the house several times, and eventually Fish and Game needed to trap it and
Yeah.
relocate it.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That is almost worse than a gator.
I don't know. I feel
Yeah.
like gators are more directly aggressive towards people. These bears were not interested in us, they were interested in our food. So,
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I know. I've had friends that were camping up north and they had a bear come into their campsite and it was literally the youth leader and his the kids behind him backing around um a big fire pit while the bear was slowly walking towards them and they were
mhm.
trying to "Well, what are we going to do?" And fortunately it didn't nothing happened. But okay, Key says Saturday all of Topeka and Wichita has to watch out for violent oh yeah, I think I heard about that, Keith. That's very unfortunate, very wrong. See, gators don't break down your doors and raid your fridge.
That's true. Maybe I should move to Florida.
Yeah, I wouldn't live on a water thing if I could help it. All right, let's go. All right, questions for tonight. We're going to go through our normal rigmarole. And question number one, and of course, Rachel, we'll start with you. What is the best day of the week and why?
Ooh, great question. For me, the best day of the week is Sunday.
Ah,
Typically, that's a day where my whole family gets to be together. We're kind of a traditional family where my brothers and their families all get together for a Sunday afternoon meal. So we get nieces and nephews and everyone at my
oh,
parents' house for a big afternoon of fun. So
oh,
yeah.
fun. I've got something wrong here, don't I? What happened? Why did we disappear? Oh, I see. That's interesting. Okay, there we go. Sorry. So it's a big family reunion or family time
Yeah.
outside of your immediate family.
Yeah. My brothers and their families and my parents. So good.
So hi Amy. Want to say hi to Amy of AJC Magic, and then I want to do my due diligence and do this. There. Now you're on the top. All right. Gators don't chew. Amy, any day. I think she's saying ending with a Y. Wow, that's an optimist for you right there. I would say mine has always probably been Friday, just because the end of the work week, and but I would say Saturdays for me. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a day to get caught up on things around the house. And anyway, hey John, we got John in the house saying hi to everybody. Hi John. Amy is saying Friday. Okay, come on, Keith. What's your favorite day of the week? Lisa, Amy. I mean,
Back when I was
Amy already
teaching
said.
in public school, I would say that Fridays probably were my favorite as well,
Sure.
just because there's a little bit of reprieve there.
Yeah. All right. Well, I will move on to the next question. Oh, I didn't answer. Yeah, I did answer. That's oh boy, that's forgetful. Saturday, says Lisa. All right. Yeah, Saturday. Unfortunately, this Saturday is going to rain here, so that's why I mowed tonight. John says Saturday I don't do anything. That is sweet. It's good to have a day like that. Keith says my favorite is any day that ends with a Y. That sounds familiar. I like that answer. Very positive. And cool. All right. Dilly dilly. I feel like that's suggesting a day. All right. Here's the next question, Rachel. Name a celebrity who seems to have fallen off the planet.
That is a very good question. I would like some inspiration from the chat because, yeah.
It's hard to get these answers and come up questions and come up with an answer right away. I realize.
Yeah. I also am terrible with people's names. So there's that.
Yeah. I will say, okay, so Lisa says, if a celebrity falls off the planet, would we really remember them? Well, maybe, maybe not. I'll tell you one person who it was an interesting fall off the planet was who was the kid, and he was a shorter black actor, and he was in a show with J.J. Walker. Oh, he always said, "What you talking about, Willis?" Do you know who I mean?
Somebody
Some
in the chat will.
somebody's got to remember that. Anyway, he fell off the planet. Come to find out years later, he was just working as a security guard. And it's just crazy because at one moment he's on top of the world, and the next moment he's doing a humble job. Not to say he wasn't happier, maybe he was. Joe Piscopo. The last time I saw Joe Piscopo was in Gary Coleman. Thank you, Keith. Joe Piscopo was in a celebrity golf tournament. I saw him a few years ago, and yeah, he's kind of fallen off the planet. And thank you, Keith. Gary Coleman in Different Strokes. That's definitely who it was. Amy got it too. Yep.
For a while, Lindsay Lohan had disappeared, but she seems to be back now.
Oh, really? I didn't know. I didn't really know. I know of her. She was in the Twins movie, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Um, but she recently has been in a couple Netflix films.
Huh.
So,
It seems like nowadays, if they haven't been able to get work, Netflix, Prime, all that, there's got to be so many opportunities.
hmm.
In fact, we'll talk about our movie today because there was an actor of some significance in there. If you recognized
Shame
Rob
on me.
Rob Lowe, says Amy. I thought of Rob Lowe. I honestly did, and I think he is still doing stuff, but probably not the big stuff he used to do. Emilio Estevez. Wow, that's really good, Lisa. Yeah, I haven't seen him in a long time. Good actor too. What was Emilio Estevez's best role? He did the Mighty Ducks, right? I think he was in Mighty Ducks. And then he was in the one about the bandits, but I forget what that's called. Yeah, Amy, I think Rob Lowe does Atkins commercials and Hallmark movies. Okay. Wow. Young Guns. Thank you, Lisa. Yep, he was in Young Guns. That's Emilio. All right, I'll move on. Oh, and just so everyone knows, Rachel's got to cut out a little bit earlier, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably. We'll see.
Okay. Okay, so this is a hypothetical if you don't know for real, if you've never been on a cruise. What's the worst thing about a cruise that either you've experienced or that you anticipate if you haven't been on one?
So I haven't cruised, but my concern, honestly, is getting sick.
Yeah.
You don't have many opportunities to be away from people, and I'm a bit of a germaphobe. So yeah, that sounds rough to me. Although there have been many people who even went cruising during COVID and had no problems. So it could just be a personal fear and not a real fear.
Well, it's a real fear. I mean, basically that cruise that got stuck out there for how many weeks was it? I mean, that they couldn't come in and they're all
Yeah.
getting COVID. That had to be awful.
Yeah, that doesn't sound great to me.
Yeah. No.
Honestly,
Jo
the ships are so safe now, like, they're so big, they can handle most things on the water,
Yeah.
but just, like, being in a petri dish is what would concern me the most.
Yeah. I don't think you could say it any better than that. I've heard stories of and I've never cruised either, but have heard stories of certain customers, like if you're on a, like, I don't want to pick out a cruise line, but certain cruise lines, they're cheaper, invite
Mhm.
a different crowd, and they're messy in the bathrooms, and then you got to worry about the germs, as you said. But John saying rough seas, yeah, I would not handle that very well. Key saying, I don't know, still have to book my first cruise. Yeah, same with us. John, I've been in rough seas 100 miles out on a 60-foot boat. Oh man, John, I'll bet you were throwing up on that one.
Getting tossed around for sure. Were you out fishing?
Yeah, that's a good question. I was on a lake here in Minnesota, Lake Mille Lacs. It's one of the biggest lakes, and we were on a fishing boat, and it got very windy, and yeah, I was hanging over the side. High seas, ship engine problems. That's good, Amy. Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't there a ship that had a fire not too long ago with one of its engines? I don't know. I could be making that up.
No, I that sounds familiar. I'm not sure. Carnival is a booze cruise. I have heard that. John, that is scary. Yeah. Ugh. 100 miles? Ooh, you got to endure that. That's got to be terrible. In France, kids can drink wine and champagne. Yeah, and in Germany they can drink beer. Okay, cool. All right. Now it's time for Okay, whoops. That always happens. The question this week is more of a discussion question. Have you done a solo trip to Walt Disney World? And if so, would you recommend it? If not, do you want to do one and why? And so I'll start with you, Rachel.
So I haven't done one.
Okay.
The smallest group I've gone with is just me and my husband, and that was wonderful.
Yeah.
Um, However, I would love to do a solo trip at some point because I feel like just the freedom to explore and do things on a whim would be very exciting for me. I also am more of a Disney nerd than my husband is, unfortunately. So
So if you went solo, would you rope drop it or would you casual or what would you do?
yeah, I would rope drop it. And I think this is probably why my husband isn't as into Disney as I am, is because I really am like, let's go rope drop to close.
Now we
So,
know.
yeah.
Amy has done a few solo trips, okay? And I think Keith is saying he has not. No solo trip for Lisa, but wouldn't. Would miss my family too much. They make it fun for me. Oh, that's cool. Well, I have done a solo trip and I loved it. I mean, it was like because when you're in a park with a number of people, you're all, you always have different opinions maybe on where to go, what pace to go. When you're alone, you don't have to even think about it. You go how fast you want and you go wherever you want. And I was there for, I want to say 4 days and I had a blast. In fact,
Yeah.
the story is that I went to Magic Kingdom and Josh from Resort TV One was there, and I found him and I said hi, and he said, "Hey, everybody," and this is he won't do. I don't think they would do this anymore, but he said, "Subscribe to the live place," and I got 600 subscribers in about 4 minutes.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I know the power of Resort TV One. So, okay, Keith is saying he agrees with Lisa. He would not want to do a solo trip.
I love going places on my own. Like, I love to go skiing on my own. I'm not afraid to sit on a ski lift with
Yeah.
strangers and have conversations with them. It's fun.
Yeah. I'm the same way. And my brother Epcot Bob, he goes solo probably 4 or 5 times a year. So, uh and he always has fun. But yeah, it's not for everyone. All right, so Lisa, Keith would not. Amy has done them, and so I assume she likes them. And then John, I'm not sure if you are still there, but curious if you've done a solo trip. Okay. All right. Well, at least we got Lisa here. I got to come up with these creative questions. So I'm always basing it on something I either heard or I think I heard. Keith of It's Joey's World has been in a play. Now that sounds rather generic, so yeah, I guess it is. Let's have some guesses in the chat. Do you think Keith, and Elise, of course, so don't tell us. Amy says, I enjoy traveling solo, but it can get lonely. Yeah, definitely. I get that too. There's times when I have felt that. If I went solo, says John, I would be sleeping on the couch for a year.
Yeah, I think
Hey.
my mom would be pretty mad. She'd be like, "Why wouldn't you take me with you?"
Well, we have Jeff here from Dizart Dream. What an honor. Hiya, Jeff. We know you're not live tonight, so that's why we're going viral here. All right.
So to answer this question, my guess is going to be true. And
Okay.
I'm basing that on the fact that in elementary school, I was in several plays because my elementary school class was in plays. And
Sure.
I continued doing theater through high school, but I feel like most kids have probably had some exposure. So that's
So
why I'm going true.
basically, as a guess, you're saying most kids have probably been in a play at some point.
That's my assumption, but that may not be true in other school districts. around the country.
So I'm going to tell you this. I don't believe I have ever been in a play.
Really?
Oh, wait a
Okay.
minute. It depends on what you consider a play. Would you consider a skit a play?
Possibly. Did you have an audience?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was with a church group in New York City, and we did a skit, and I played God actually in the skit. And so I did. If you call that a play, then yes. Uh, well, Lisa's baiting us here. What could be the answer? She obviously knows. Jeff, true or false? You have to guess. Has Keith of It's Joey's World been in a play? True. His life is like an Encyclopedia Britannica. Yeah, we have found out that he seems to know a lot. Yes, most people have, I believe. So, John, being reasonably minded here.
Yeah,
Well,
even if it was just like the Three Little Pigs in first grade. I don't know.
okay. All right. I've Keith saying I've done a school version of Abbott and Costello's. How did he do that? I did Buddy Abbott role. Wow, Keith, very cool. Very nice. All right. Well, I think everyone has voted true, but I'm going to be I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to say false. Keith has never been in a play. He refused to. He was a stubborn child, and so that's my guess. Lisa, has he been in a play? And if so, can he tell us anything about it? As we wait.
I'm curious about this New York City trip. Was this a skit that you did on the streets, or did you do this in a building? How did this work?
On the streets.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. It was one of those kind of trips. It was
Mhm.
evangelistic. It was kind of crazy because it wasn't exactly 100% safe. I mean, we were in geez, I forget what part of New York City, but yeah, it was fairly interesting. Well, he has in high school, but does it count if he doesn't remember what play it was? Hmm.
Absolutely.
Okay, I guess so. Hey, Mandy, nice to have you here. She was in a play in 2011. Very nice. Keith stubborn? No way. Hmm. Ask Lisa. I don't know. Who would have thought? Right. All right. Keith saying for my 60th, my cousin, her stepson, and I did an improv in Diagon Alley at Universal Orlando for my DVD from Shutter Buttons. Oh, cool. I'd like to see that. All right. Well, Keith has been in a play. He doesn't remember what it was, so guess it counts. All right. No backlog of questions.
Woohoo!
All right. Our map question of the day of the week is what country has the most people with green eyes? Ireland, Uganda, or Colombia?
Hmm. I'm going with Ireland,
Okay.
but I am not sure.
Okay. Keith also going with Ireland. Oh, that's easy. It's Greenland, of course. But that's not one of the choices. Jeff going with Ireland. Everybody's going Ireland. Anybody else?
I feel like Uganda could surprise us. You never know.
Hmm. Yeah. All right. Amy going for Colombia. Cool. Iceland, says John. Ireland because I forgot the other choices. Okay, that's valid. Hey, Jim, nice to have you here. Ireland.
Ha ha. Ha.
All of Africa would have brown eyes. Well, okay. Not all of Africa. All right. Ireland, says John. And Mandy says, it's been hard in the last month. My grandpa died of a heart attack. Oh, Mandy, I'm sorry. We hadn't seen much of you around, so maybe that's why. Our best to you and your family. We're all sorry to hear that. All right, well, let's reveal the answer. And it is indeed Ireland. Good call. The largest concentration of green eyed people is in Ireland, Scotland, and Northern Europe. But I had to pick one, so there you go.
I wonder if that's per capita.
It didn't exactly say. It said concentration, so that I think it just means the most people.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I feel like the US may be up there as well,
Yeah, probably is.
just being a melting pot.
Yeah. All right. Uh, okay. Kelly is ninja watching at work. That is cool. Thank you, Kelly. All right. Next question. Oh no, it's time for our movie review. And once again, Rachel, in my unanticipated way, I have mine first. So
Okay.
so basically the movie we reviewed this week was free. It's free on Amazon Prime. If you're interested in watching it, it's called The Wolf and the Lion. And as you can just tell from the picture, it's a nature movie. And so I'll start by saying that sometimes I enjoy a movie just simply for the visual beauty of it. And this had that for sure. They did a good job. Uh, and it was a cute subject. Um, but basically, I said within the B genre of films, this wasn't half bad. There was some clunky scenes, but beautiful scenery. Ah, there's your dog. He's not barking.
No, but she was spinning me around.
Uh, okay, and the other thing that I will mention about this movie is that it had Graham Greene in it. And if you don't know who Graham Greene is, I wouldn't have known the name either. He was the head Indian actor in Dances with Wolves, and he's been in other stuff. He's a great actor. He's also been a regular on the Red Green Show, if you're familiar with that. And the Red Green Show is hilarious. It's a Canadian comedy show. And Graham Greene, let's just say they didn't hand him the best script on this movie. He had some very clunky scenes, but I still like him, and he made the movie nice. And the main actress, she was just fine. And yeah, it's a decent movie, not half bad. Would I watch it again? As Rachel usually says, no, I wouldn't watch this one again, but I don't regret watching it one time. All right, let's see what the comments say before I move on. Yes, the movie that I didn't watch again. That's okay, Lisa. We understand. Like I said, lions and wolves don't mix. That's right, Keith. Rachel's movie can be called The Bear and the Dog.
Oh no.
And Jeff, thank you. He loves the Red Green Show. Oh man, if you ever get a chance, Rachel, and you see the Red Green Show, it's hilarious.
Okay, I'll check that out.
Very improv kind of, like they have a lot of improv comedians on there. All right, Rachel,
Yes.
your turn.
Okay. Did you have a chance? No, you didn't get my.
I did. I didn't want to blow it all right away, but there we
Okay.
go. I can't fit all the comments, so I just
Yeah, that's okay.
yeah.
So I thought it was a beautiful film. It was definitely a drama, pulled at the heartstrings quite a bit. Um, Started out, this woman is like inheriting her grandfather's property, who had just recently passed away, that sort of thing. And then these animals, the lion is in a plane crash on his way to being purchased from a circus, and ends up being raised by a wolf and her cub. And then the wolf is captured, the mother wolf is captured. And it's just all of these spiraling things that are just like tugging at the heartstrings.
Yeah.
And my dog is here to comfort me.
You can tell.
But it was a beautiful story. I did enjoy it. I thought that overall, like the scenery was absolutely gorgeous.
Yes.
In general, the cinematography itself, I think, was really well done. I found the classical music elements to be really beautiful as well,
Yeah.
which is why it's gotten my highest rating so far. Because I think as far as an art piece, it was really good.
Hmm.
Um, it is not my favorite style of movie, uh, so I'm unsure if I'll watch it again.
But that's a good rating, 8.5. So that's your highest, huh?
Mhm.
Interesting. You've
So
had an 8.
far,
Yeah, you must have had an 8 before.
I think so.
I think you did. Well, thank you for explaining the story a little bit. I'm terrible at that. Mary Ellen, that's her normal assignment is to explain the story. And the other element of it, as Rachel mentioned, the girl is a classical pianist and she gives up her uh what school accepted her? Juilliard? I don't know, somewhere.
I think that she was accepted to play in like a philharmonic orchestra.
Oh, that's right. It was something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was it was okay. I would recommend it. I just like I said, it's a B movie. It's not an A movie.
Did you stay through the credits? It looked like there's it's roughly based on a true story.
Yeah, yep. Well,
Okay.
it basically said that the wolf and the lion were still together, right? Or wherever they had
And
them,
they
they were.
in Canada or something
Yeah,
like yeah,
yep,
it's very interesting.
yeah, yeah. I but it was kind of funny the way they both kind of show up at her cabin at the same time.
Yeah, the
So.
lion it was a little kooky that the lion literally fell out of a tree into her arms. Like, "Okay."
There's a few other things I could pick on about it, but again, I enjoyed it enough to watch the whole movie. So, and as you said, visually stunning.
Mhm.
All right, now I'm going to explain my choice here. I This is the kind of movie I would not normally be drawn to. But we have been doing kind of similar movies. And so I read up a little bit about this movie, Valerian. And if you look underneath it, it's got a super long title, like the planet of this something of 12 planet. I don't remember. It's long. And I read the review at Movie Guide, and they give their sort of cautionary review on it. And they gave it some high marks in terms of the story. So, I know it looks a little different, but it is free on Prime. Is this Prime? Yeah, yeah, this is a Prime movie. So there you go. Are you excited for this one?
Uh, this one makes me curious. I think, the past couple, like, sci-fi ones that we've done were different.
Yeah.
So that has me on edge, but maybe this one is excellent.
Well, just remember, you can watch it for as long as you want.
I once I'm committed, I'm committed.
That's true. Has there been any movie you've given up on yet?
No, not yet.
Oh my gosh, you'll win. I mean, that was the whole point of this was like who can endure these movies the longest? And I made your dog sad and I'm sorry.
She just wants snacks.
Oh, well. All right. Well, that's the movie. I was kind of hoping Nick was going to be here and he'd say, "Yeah, I've seen it," and give us a little rundown. Okay. Time for and Lisa has seen it. So, what century was the most famous eruption of Mount Vesuvius? I felt like this is one that people could be way off on. I didn't know. Want some help in the chat first, Rachel?
Yeah, I'm checking the chat, seeing if you have any thoughts here.
This has a
2
better.
2 BC, 4th century.
Okay,
Hmm.
-2. So 2 BC from Keith. Jeff saying 4th century. John 3rd century BC. 1st century from Jim. Got some great guesses coming here. When was the last time Jeff was there? At Mount Vesuvius. 3rd century from Amy. All right, there you've got some help, Rachel.
Okay. I'm going to go 4th century BC.
Okay, you're agreeing with Jeff. All right, well, let's look at the answer. I think most people have guessed, and here it comes. Oh, Jim had it right. 1st century, 79 AD, releasing, interesting, 100,000 times the thermal energy of the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So, they talk about Pompeii and that other city getting entirely wiped out. It's Italy, right? I think it's Italy. So, anyway.
I have to let you go.
Oh, you're gone. Okay.
Yep. So
Thanks,
sorry.
Rachel.
Bye.
It's all right. Bye. All right. It's just me, folks. If anybody wants to come on, I'll shoot you a link. Let me know. All right. Next question. Always go with the teacher, says Lisa. Yeah. Even a blind squirrel can find a nut. Yeah, I hear you. I have gotten, so on Jim, on some of your questions, I've gotten lucky a few times, but I have never cheated, I promise. All right. Next question is, what year did the Von Trapp family, as you know from Sound of Music, and of course the story is not exactly what the movie conveys, but what year did the Von Trapp family escape from Austria? All right, Keith coming on. All right, Keith, let me know. Oh, I know where I can send it to you. Give me just a second here. I'll send it to you at X. I never go out on Twitter anymore. So if you send me a message, I apologize. I just don't get it very often. Okay. Keith, you are invited. All right. So we've got 40s from Keith. We've got 56 from Jeff. We've got 1939 from John, 42 from Lisa, 1940 from Jim. All right. Did Amy throw in a guess? And she guessed the 3rd century. No, I'm just kidding, Amy. I know that was the last one. All right. Good guesses, everybody. And I'll give it like 10 more seconds. And Rachel, hey, she's still there. 1943. All right. Guys, the answer is 1938. Hey, we got Keith here. Hiya, Keith.
Hey, Dean.
You finally joined us. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing okay. My next Walt Disney World trip is in 999 days or sooner.
Now, can't we say exactly how many? We know it's sooner, and we're excited for you. Okay, well, 1938, and that means John was the closest. He was 1 year off. How nice. Jeff was so close. Yeah, Jeff, you were like in 5th or 6th place. Congratulations on that. Honestly, that's probably what I would have guessed too. You said 40s, Keith. Did you have a specific?
Probably about 42.
42, yeah.
Hey, Lisa.
Lisa's saying hi to Keith. Figured it was a Hitler thing. Good point, John. That is a good point. That puts it a little bit earlier. We call that Jeff math. That's right. Yeah, like when Jeff says we've been on a live stream now for what, an hour? And usually by then it's been quite a bit longer, to be quite honest. Well, so Keith, how many years away on your trip to Disney?
About around 3 years.
3 years.
For the next.
Okay, well, it will go fast, hopefully.
Yeah, but the next Universal Orlando trip is in 26 days.
Oh, you're going in 26 days?
No, 2,826 days till the next Universal trip.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
That's several years.
That is. I forgot to read this. When Adolf Hitler annexed Austria in 1938, the family decided to leave. First for Italy, where I believe it's saying the family was legally citizens of. So not quite as romantic as the movie. Have you seen The Sound of Music, Keith?
I think so, but I think I did.
One of my favorite movies. In fact, I have a big poster of it in my office here.
It was Julie Andrews' second movie. Her first movie was Mary Poppins.
Which was better, in your opinion?
Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins is the first movie I ever saw in my life. And I loved it.
And I also liked Saving Mr. Banks, where
Yeah.
P.L. Travers worked with Walt Disney.
Yeah. Emma Watson, I believe, was the actress, and she's one of the best.
Emma Thompson.
Emma Thompson. I get their names mixed up. Thank you.
Which, of course, Emma Thompson was in Beauty and the Beast with Emma Watson. Emma Watson played as Belle, and Emma Thompson played as Mrs. Potts.
Oh, you're showing some encyclopedic memory here. All right, Keith, are you ready for the what movie is this segment?
Oh.
All right.
Newsies?
What's that?
Newsies?
That is a good guess. It's not right, but it is not. Does anybody know? And I got to give the chat about 15 more seconds because it's delayed. Oh, and John is saying for me it was Snow White in '64 in Jersey City. Yeah, that was before. Okay, Jeff is guessing it was Superman because they're all looking up. That is a very good guess. It is not correct, unfortunately. So we will be moving on to the next picture here, and I believe it's going to get fairly easy quickly here. This was the best sort of non-giveaway picture I could find. Okay, Keith, so you may or may not have seen this movie, but here you go. This may be a giveaway right here.
Almost looked like the clock tower in Topeka at the old Miniger Foundation in a way.
Okay.
But with that water, it kind of looks like possibly around England.
Correct. And Amy coming in with the win. All right, Chariots of Fire. And yes, if you've seen Chariots of Fire, seeing all the guys running in their white outfits, Lisa, and then, hey, we got Texas Takes here. Hi, Ed. Hi, Heather. Nice to have you here.
Hey, Texas Takes.
Stanley Theater, says John. So I think that's what he's referring to in London there. King Kong, says Jeff. Not exactly.
King Kong took place in Tokyo with Godzilla.
Well, it was also in New York, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. With Fay Ray.
Yep.
His girlfriend, Fay Ray.
That's right. Hello to you all as well, says Ed. Ed, it was great seeing you guys go live down at Disney, and saw you at Fantasmic and some other things. All right. Okay, I think I'm caught up here. All right, Keith, it's time for, I believe, oh, yeah, the rest of the pictures. Fairly obvious by this point. That was Abraham or whatever, Abrams or Abrahams, and he was a great runner in that movie.
It looks like oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen the movie, Keith, but this is where the rich guy runs over the hurdles with the glasses of champagne.
Oh, okay.
He can't spill them.
I haven't seen the movie, so.
Very good. I highly recommend it. All right, and then this was the obvious one, and this is the missionary guy who right after winning in the Olympics, I believe he went to China and served as a
Number
missionary.
451.
Yeah. What was his real name? Oh my gosh. I don't remember. Okay, Chariots of Fire. All right. It is time to end the show with our bracket challenge. What's the best cartoon of all time? So, Keith, help me out here. I like to get your vote first, and then the chat will come in. Let's start with this one: South Park or Popeye?
Popeye.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that one for sure.
You know, I might have had an ancestor named of Max Fleischer. Might have been a distant cousin, Max Fleischer, and he created Betty Boop and worked on Popeye.
Really? That's amazing.
But I can't prove whether he was related to me or not, or whether he wasn't related to me.
Okay.
I'm
Jeff?
working on the family tree.
Oh, okay. Jeff's agreeing with us with Popeye. John saying Popeye. Amy saying Popeye. Lisa saying Popeye, although we still love South Park. Yeah. I've never watched South Park. I got to give that a try. Popeye from Rachel. Well, we have a clear winner there. Popeye. All right, Keith, next one. Fat Albert or Roadrunner?
Roadrunner.
And Jim also coming in with Popeye, as did Rachel. So very clear winner on the previous. All right. Roadrunner. So one for Roadrunner. You and I are about the same age, if I remember right, Keith. So we probably relate to the same cartoons.
Yeah. I did like Fat Albert.
Yeah, me too.
But I like Roadrunner even better.
For sure. Roadrunner from Jeff. Roadrunner from Rachel. John saying, oh, he's talking about the Giants. Then Lisa's struggling with this one, but she went Roadrunner. So we've got 5 Roadrunner. So, all right. Well,
Roadrunner appeared on a Dodge car.
Oh, okay. Do you remember which
Wait
one?
a minute, not Dodge, but Plymouth car. I think it was called the Plymouth Roadrunner.
Oh, okay. That sounds familiar. Jim with Roadrunner, John with Roadrunner. Yeah, it's been a runaway tonight so far. We haven't had any disagreement. All right, let's move on to the next one. Bugs Bunny or Dora the Explorer?
Bugs Bunny all the way.
Such a classic from when we were young.
Yeah, what's up, Doc?
That's not bad. I was just going to try, but no, I don't think I'm going to try. All right. Lisa's saying Bugs, of course. All right, Jeff with Dora. Now, I actually haven't voted yet, and I think I'm going to go Dora, and I'll tell you why. Even though for me, Bugs Bunny was definitely the better cartoon, for my kids, it was Dora, and I have more fond memories of watching that with my kids than anything. So I'm gonna cast my vote for Dora as well.
One thing about her, she can teach you how to translate between English and Spanish.
Yeah, that's right. There was some good aspects to Dora. Jeff, do you remember I'm the Map? All right. Rachel coming in with Bugs Bunny, Amy with Dora. Man, I think we're about split. So it's 1, 2, 3 Bugs, 3 Dora. The Rabbit Dude says John, 4 Bugs Bunny. Jeff, how could you? Says Lisa. I am the map, Dean. You remember that? I heard a comedy routine about that song once, and it was kind of funny. It just goes, I'm the map, I'm the map, I'm the map, I'm the map. There wasn't a lot of variety to that song. All right,
it looks like Bugs got it.
I think you're right. Bugs Bunny is where we first learned classical music. Hey, that's a good point. All right, I believe Bugs Bunny has the win here by 2. Goodbye, Dora. All right. Rocky and Bullwinkle or Spider-Man?
Rocky and Bullwinkle.
I kind of thought you were going to say that. Rachel agreeing with Lisa. Well, I got to say, yep, adios, Dora. I got to say, I have never really watched the Spider-Man cartoon, so I'm also going to go with Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Rocky's voice was a woman, Joy Funay, I think. It's her name, that did the voice of Rocky.
Okay, so there's two Rockies, but now we got 2-1, 2-2, 3-2 Spider, 3-3, 4-3 Spider, 5-3 Spider-Man. Okay.
Spidey's got it.
Spidey's got it. Spidey moving on.
Let me ask Alexa something. Alexa, who was the voice of Rocky in Rocky and Bullwinkle?
June Foray is the voice behind Rocky the Flying
June
Squirrel in the
Foray.
animated TV series
Wow, you
Rocky
remember
and
that stuff.
Bullwinkle. Foray, who also voiced other characters in the show, was a renowned voice actress known for her work in the field.
Alexa, stop.
Okay, now I should.
I like these two equally, but I'm
Yeah.
going to have to go with the Flintstones.
Yeah. So when I think of cartoons, the first cartoon that always comes to my mind is the Flintstones, because when I was a kid, that was on for quite a while. The repeats, you remember, Keith, we would watch that time and time again when we were kids, right?
Well, Betty Rubble was voiced by B. Benaderet of Petticoat Junction, the Beverly Hillbillies, and Burns and Allen.
Oh man, do you study this?
Yeah.
Okay, we got Jeff coming in with the Flintstones, John with the Flintstones, Rachel with the Rugrats. I knew Rachel would do that. Lisa with the Flintstones. Hard one, says Amy, but going with the Rugrats. So basically, I'm with Flintstones. So you and I, so 3, 4, 4-1, 5-1, 5. It's runaway Flintstones. Sorry, guys. Rugrats is going away. All right. Thank you, everybody. Here we go, Keith. Charlie Brown or Peanuts or Superman, not Spider-Man?
Ooh, this is a tough one.
Not
I
for
grew
me.
up on Peanuts, but but Superman was Superman. I usually see him in the newspapers, in the comics. Same with the Peanuts, but Charles Schultz was a real good classic, so I'm going to say Peanuts.
Yeah. Rachel's Peanuts, Amy's Peanuts, Lisa's Peanuts, John's Peanuts, Jeff's Peanuts, Jim's Peanuts. You and I both are. It's a runaway. Charlie Brown has it. Okay, I'm gonna throw a line out there, and I'm sorry to do this, but I got to go back because it comes from the Flintstones. If anybody knows this line, I'll be really impressed. What movie did this line come from? That Betty Rubble. What an actor. If anybody knows that, I will give them some of Jeff's points, maybe 300 points. If you know what movie that line came from, that Betty Rubble, what an actor, you get 300 points.
Probably a movie that I haven't watched.
It probably is. All right. Rachel's saying Mary Ellen would have voted Peanuts too. Yeah, for sure. It's a runaway. All right. Next one. I was kind of hoping Jeff might know that line. All right. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or Scooby-Doo?
Scooby-Doo all the way, because one thing, Shaggy was voiced by Casey Kasem of America's American Top 40.
I remember Casey Kasem. All right, Lisa with Scooby-Doo, Rachel with Scooby-Doo, Amy with Scooby-Doo, you and I with Scooby-Doo. We've got John with Scooby, and we got Dean the Turkey Legster in the house. Hello, Dean. Nice to have you here.
Hey, Dean.
Scooby-Doo and Scrappy 2.
You know, when Scooby Doo had a guest Josie and the Pussycats, Casey Kasem did a double role. He did Shaggy and also Alexander.
Really? Wow. I'm gonna. Okay.
But Alexander really sounded like Casey Kasem.
Oh, well, he had a good voice. Jim saying Scooby-Doo, and Lisa saying hi to Dean the turkey legster. Everyone's saying hi to Dean. So Lisa, thank you for suggesting that. I like that. That would be a good segment in this show. And Lisa suggested, and I talked to Mary Ellen about it. We are considering moving our show to Wednesday nights, just so we don't conflict with Jeff and Corey. So we might be moving to 7 p.m. on Wednesday nights, and we'll decide when Mary Ellen gets back from Ireland.
That's 7 Eastern, which
yeah,
would be
7
6
Eastern.
Central.
Yep, 7 Eastern, which will be 6 Central. All right, ready, Keith?
Yep.
SpongeBob or The Simpsons? And I thought,
SpongeBob.
Oh, you were quick on that one. Okay, I mean, I thought this would be a tough one, and I'm gonna definitely go Simpsons because I have never seen SpongeBob. Am I missing out? Do you recommend it?
SpongeBob was a classic Nickelodeon. SpongeBob was a sponge. SpongeBob SquarePants.
I've never watched it. Okay, so we got 1 SpongeBob, 2 Simpsons, 3 Simpsons, 4 Simpsons. Yeah. Amy with The Simpsons. Some of the writing on The Simpsons is just so good. I think, Keith, you probably know better than anyone. Didn't Conan O'Brien used to write for The Simpsons?
I don't know. I think so, but I'm not for sure.
Yeah. John saying The Simpsons. Never watched either, says Dean. Okay, well. Well, so far it's like 1, 2. It's 5-1 Simpsons. So the Simpsons are definitely moving on.
Yeah, Simpsons got it.
Yeah. All right. Next, and I believe this might be the. Nope, that was it. All right. So it's 8 o'clock, and I always save the hot topic if we are for next week if we run to the end of the time, and we are at the end of the time. So so I don't know. Well, hopefully, Keith, you can come back.
Okay.
That'd be great. Okay.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks for being on. I like having somebody with me. So, all right. Well, guys, next week, Mary Ellen will be back. And remember, thank you, Lisa. I appreciate that. Thank you, John. And I'll just bring up the movie really quick so everyone can see it because it's a crazy one. The movie we are watching next week is right here. Valerian. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you for being on earlier. Nice to have you. It's great to have everybody here. Sorry if I didn't say goodbye individually to you all, but please come back next week. And then it'll probably be next Thursday, but then we'll decide from there if we're going to maybe move it to Wednesday nights. So, all right.
Like I always say, have a magical evening and a great, big, beautiful tomorrow. Bye-bye.
I need an outro like that. So that's good enough for tonight. All right. Thank you, Keith. And good night, everybody.